Hello YouTube, this is CyberKnight 8610. I'm using the screen recorder now, as you can see, so it should be pretty good quality, and I'm going to show you guys Hidden Arsenal number 2. The full list has now been released, so as you can see, I will have a link too, so you can go to this page and click on each card you want to check out. I'm going to go over a few of them for you guys, and hopefully the mic sounds pretty good. I still need to try and buy a new one, or something like that, because I don't really know how I'm going to be able to make it any better without buying a new one. So yeah, hopefully it's good enough though. Let's see. DeLorean Tiger of the Ice Barrier. Probably the main card everyone wants. He's even on the front of the pack. I'll just read the effects for you guys because I have a pretty good amount that I'm going over. I'm mainly going over the synchros too. I think there's only one that's not synchro I'm going over. So yeah. First off, he needs a tuner and one or more non-tuner water monsters. So he's going to be a little harder to bring it. He's not as easy as Boronic. Once per turn, you can return any number of face-up cards you control to the owner's hand. This card gains 500 attack for each card returned to the owner's hand by this effect till the end phase of the turn. So it's kind of interesting. It's not as evil as its brother Boronic, but still, it's pretty interesting. Let's see. Allied Justice Field Marshal. The main one I want is him from the whole set mainly, because I think of him as like the Mistworm, a better Mistworm or something like that, because I can see a lot more use out of this guy than Mistworm, and I think I might be able to use it more. I don't know. He needs a tuner and two or more non-tuners. It's a level 9 too, but I think you guys should be able to see it at good enough quality, especially if you go to full screen. This card cannot be special summoned except by a synchro summon, and this card destroys a face-down defense position monster by battle, and since it's the graveyard, you draw one card. So it's pretty interesting. I kind of wish in some ways it would have more of the effect of, Hurts light monsters, especially since Fables are coming out and they are light monsters, I believe. Yeah, I think they're all light monsters. So that will hurt, light swords and stuff if it had that kind of ability, but, that's kind of a downer on that part, but it's still really interesting. I like the art too. Like I said, dual terminal cards and these kind of hidden arsenal cards always have really cool art since hidden arsenal and dual terminal are the same. Alright, Natural Beast. It's pretty interesting. It needs an earth tuner and one or more non-earth tuners monsters. So yeah, while this card's face up on the field, you can send the top 2 cards of the deck to the graveyard to negate the activation of a spell card and destroy it. So you might see some uses for it, being a 5-star too. That's kind of interesting. It's not as splashable that needs earth monsters, but you could probably see this going into X-Sabers or something like that, since they do kind of have more earth types and stuff. So it's pretty interesting. I think it's doing pretty good on eBay too for now. I think all these I'm going over to are going to be secret rares and hidden arsenal too. So there. This one is pretty interesting. Natra Leo Drake, and it needs one earth tuner and one or more non-tuners that are earth monsters. And it doesn't have an ability, which is kind of weird. You don't see it that often. Him and Guy Not Force the Earth, I think, are the only 2 synchro monsters that don't have an ability, which kind of sucks. And it's at level 9 and 3,000 attacks. So we're not gonna see much use out of this guy, I don't think, but I still like it. Of course, I like just about all the synchros. So it's interesting, Mist Valley Thunderlord. I didn't know this guy was coming out. It's kind of interesting. He level 7, and requires a tuner and one or more non-tuners that are Mist Valley monsters, so that's kind of bad on that side. And once per turn during either player's turn, you can return one card you control to the owner's hand and have this card gained 500 attack to the end phase. So that's pretty interesting. It's a Thunder tap too, which is kind of off. You don't really think of many Thunder taps these days. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. I could see it coming in handy. Alright, Fabled Valkyrius. I think he's the only Fabled Synchro that's coming out. And there's only like 3 of them. I think there's Fabled Synchros or so. There's like 3 or maybe 4. I don't know. But hopefully we get the rest of them pretty soon. Next dual terminal probably. And it requires a Fabled tuner and one or more non-tuners. So we could see this guy a little bit more splashable. And once per turn, you can discard a Fiend type monster to draw 1 card. So it's kind of interesting, level 8. So that's, Fabled monsters are supposed to be pretty cool. Being a Lion monster too, might be able to see some Allied Justice coming back, and maybe even being meta-worthy. I don't know. This is the only one I'm going to be talking about that's not a synchro. Fabled Lurie is how I'm going to pronounce it. It's a level 1 tuner, I believe, right? Or No, it's not a tuner. When this card's discarded from the hand to the graveyard, you can special summon it. So it's pretty interesting. You can use it to help and tune and stuff like that. I thought it was a tuner. It's pretty interesting though. I think it's one of the ones that are the top fabled cards right now on eBay. If you look, it's going for about $5-6. So it's it's pretty interesting. A lot of people I think are comboing it with the 10,000 or 10,000, good grief, 2010 game promos. How they had that one guy, that Sarah. Uh, you guys might know what I'm talking about. It's a little one-star dude that came with that game. It's one of the little promo cards. So it's pretty interesting. I think people are comboing those together. Thermal GeneX. There's a bunch of GeneXs coming out, and they're all pretty interesting. GeneX controller is the tuner that it needs, and one or more fire monsters that are non-tuners. Level 8. This card gains 200 attack for each fire monster in your graveyard. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the number of GeneX monsters in the graveyard times 200. It'd be better if it was like level 6 in my opinion, because its attack is kind of weak. But it's pretty interesting though too. I'm thinking about actually making a GeneX deck, because they're pretty interesting, especially with these new ones coming out. A GeneX, let's see, which one is it? Windmill GeneX, which is kind of off the wall because most of the time they're GeneX and then they have their original name or whatever, but this one actually has Windmill before GeneX. It needs a GeneX controller as its tuner and one or more non-tuners that are wind monsters. It's level 7, and it gains 300 attack for each face-down spell and trap card on the field. You can send one card from your hand to the graveyard to destroy one face-down spell or trap card on the field. So, it's a little better. I like it better on Thermal because, I don't know, it's just kind of, seems like you could use it a little better. More of like an anti-meta kind of setup, in my opinion. It's pretty interesting. Yugioh GeneX. This one actually has an English picture, which is kind of nice. It needs a GeneX controller, of course, and one or more Earth non-tuner monsters. And once per turn, when you control a level 4 or lower GeneX monster, you can switch the attack and defense of this card till the end phase. And it's a level 6, so I think this guy's pretty cool. Has 1,800 attack, 2,800 defense, so it's not bad. You can really power it up. And it's pretty cool looking. So yeah, I might actually make a GeneX deck too. The last one I'm going to talk about is Drac Giamoto. How do you pronounce that? Good grief. Giga Noto? I don't know. I'm not good at pronouncing cards. It requires a tuner, one or more non-tuners that are dinosaur types. It's a level 7, and while this card's face up on the field, all face-up Drac monsters you control gain 200 attack for each Drac monster in your graveyard. So that's pretty interesting. I wish it was stronger than that, 'cause it's only 2,100 attack. So yeah, but it's pretty cool. It will help out people that want to use dinosaurs again, and we do need some dinosaur cards. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any opinions on this set, please leave that in the comments. And if you're going to get a box or not, and all that kind of stuff, do you think some of these cards will help out the metagame, or will they, not even make a difference at all? Leave your opinions, like I said, in the comments. Please subscribe and check out my contest. And check out cityofgamers.com, very awesome website. And join me on the forums there, and I can maybe help you guys out with like decks that you make and stuff like that. Post them up there, and I'll try to help you. Right? That's all. Bye, YouTube.